All right. 90 days of value. All right. So I apologize for the technical difficulties that I experienced this morning. Let's make sure we're live. Let's see here. This is day 23. This is all right. Cool. We got sound. All right, we're good. We're good to go. What's going on, fam? Again, sorry for the technical difficulties, but I committed to these 90 days, so I'm not skipping no days. 90 days of value, day 23. Actually, day 2 of my collapsing time series. Day 1 was yesterday. Day 2 of the collapsing time series is today, within the 90 days of value. So who am I? Mr. Kingdom Cash, Charles Dyson, 39 years old, 10 children, haven't worked a job since April of 2013. And I've done some pretty good things in business. And that was as a result of having great mentors, developing my mind, growing my perspective, and I decided to give back. I'm going 90 days straight, teaching different principles that have helped me develop my mind and really grow and make great money. And I believe in teaching these principles because they work, right? And if you go back to day 1 and make it all the way to day 23, you're going to grow. You're going to learn a lot of great information that's going to help you in your everyday life. So today, uh, day 23, hustling for money doesn't work. Hustling for money doesn't work. You know, we entered into this hustle culture a few years back, right? Side gigs and side jobs and side projects, and you know, I used to be a part of that mentality, right? I used to think that you had to grind, you had to, you know, work hard to make things happen. And the truth is, you can make great money grinding, hustling, right? But you'll always be grinding and hustling, right? It never stops. If you get into grind and hustle culture, um, you will be in that mode until you decide to get out of that mode. And there's another level, another way of operating that's better, that's more lucrative, and this is the area, this is the frequency that I decide to operate from, and I want to introduce you to it. Right. First, let me say this: if you are in hustle culture and you stop working, you stop making money. Right. That's just how it is. Hustle culture, hustling for money, means that it doesn't necessarily mean you would do nefarious things for money. It's an attitude. It's a gotta wake up and go get it type of mentality, right? Um, and they say if you chase your dreams will come true. It's not true. Chasing your dreams means what you're chasing is running away from you. That's the trick. Hustle culture says if you work really hard, you'll achieve what it is that you want to achieve, and that's just not true. If you're working hard, you can be making money and working hard, but you're not a machine. You get tired, you get exhausted, you get burnt out, right? And so then what happens when you arrive to that point, right? There's a better way of operating. You are not a machine. You are not meant to work super hard, right? And you can work yourself to an early grave. I've seen people do it. Um, there is, like I said, there's a higher method. There's a way of operating that's better than hustling and grinding. Like I said, it doesn't speak to a negative connotation. You could be doing good business like I was and just have a mentality that says you got to force it to happen. You got to force it to come. And studies have shown that, team no sleep, sacrificing sleep, and, working yourself ragged, um, is not good. You need sleep to have a long life, right? These examples that we have of people who work really hard to achieve great things, um, it's inspiring. But like I said, there's a better way. There's a better way. Um, so what is the better way? What if what if let me start here. This is a short video, so I can't go too deep, but I can give you the foundational principles. The keys to this reality that we live in, you got to understand three things: energy, vibration, and frequency. Energy, vibration, and frequency. Energy is never destroyed, it's only transferred. Okay? It's foundational principle. You understand frequency very well. You have a cell phone. That cell phone has a number. That number does not answer anybody's phone. It does not call anybody's phone but yours. That is a frequency. Your television, when you turn it to a certain channel, a certain app, a certain show, when you turn it on, nothing else comes on but that show, but that channel. That's called a frequency. That image is disseminated on a certain frequency across the entire world. That's interesting, right? The Super Bowl, right? The Super Bowl is the most watched television program every year, right? 1/3 or no, 2/3 of the United States at the same exact time is watching the same exact program at the same exact time across the entire world, really. How does that happen? Everybody tunes into a certain frequency and gets the same picture on their television screen. That's frequency. Okay? That's frequency. Right? Vibration speaks to emotions. Every emotion has a vibration. What do you think the most creative vibration is? This is a very simple question with a very simple answer. You innately know the answer. I don't have to know you. I don't have to be right next to you to give you the answer to this question. Highest frequency is love. Highest frequency is love. And love is the highest vibration is love. And love is a universal language, right? They say a smile is translated the exact same way in every single language, right? Highest vibration is love. And there are creative vibrations, just like there are destructive vibrations. Now, if you understand frequency, energy, and vibration, and you get those three things in tune with exactly what you want, coupled with consistency. I'm not saying that working consistent isn't required, right? Working diligently isn't required, right? You can collapse time frames and get things done in 1 year that it might take somebody else 4, 5, 6 years to accomplish, right? But when you operate based on frequency, vibration, and energy, you can begin to attract things to you. While you're moving towards a specific desired result, that specific desired result is moving towards you at the same time. The right frequencies, the right people, circumstances, and events will line up as if the world is just collapsing in your favor to get you exactly what you want, right? To move yourself exactly in the direction towards what you desire. This is not hustle culture. This is even above the law of attraction. That's not what I'm speaking of either. The law of attraction is actually a lower law than the law that I'm talking about. There's a few laws that are in operation based on what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the law of assumption, right? The law of vibration. These are a few different pieces of information that I've come to learn and believe and operate by, and it works. This works, okay? But there is a critical piece to this equation that must be present. Faith is a conduit, right? The ability to make a plan, develop a vision, and have faith that that vision, no matter what it is, will come to pass. And the proof of that faith is belief. What is belief? Belief is the ability to take a specific actions. Belief is the ability to take specific actions before the evidence appears, right? Before the evidence is clear. And the example that I always give when I'm teaching this is every single shape that resembles a chair, you believe it will hold your body weight without thinking twice about it. It could be a room you walked into for the first time and you saw the shape of a chair. Since you were not able to speak, you've seen the shape of a chair and you've trained yourself to believe without second thought that that chair will hold your body weight without thorough investigation, without flipping the chair over and seeing who made the chair, where it came from, inspecting the chair. You don't do any of that. Every single chair that you've ever seen in your entire life, you immediately sat in it without second thought. What is that? That's called belief. You have the capacity to believe, but belief is a choice. Belief is a choice. Okay? And belief is a powerful thing. All right? Belief is a powerful thing. Whatever you believe, you are correct in. And belief can be both. You can have a positive belief system or you can have a negative belief system. I've never met a successful pessimist. I've always seen a successful person be an optimist. Right? These are principles that I have operated by that are above hustle culture. Like I said, anything you're chasing is running away from you. But there are things that I've decided in my mind, and the circumstances, people, the situations, the events all take place and line up, conspiring in my favor every single time. Every time I operate these principles, they take place. I've practiced them to the point where I have enough knowledge and enough experience to know that these are real principles that work. They work on a small level, they work on a large level. And when you apply these principles to business, dare I say, it's like magic. It really is. It's something that you just have to experience. And when I'm teaching people, when I'm mentoring and coaching people about this specific subject, first thing I start with is the ability to make a decision, because that's all it takes to start these principles in motion. is a decision, right? Sitting down, deciding what you want, getting a vision, all of which are absolutely free. I tell people all the time, the first step to getting your dream car is to make the decision to get your dream car. It doesn't require money to do that. But you know what? A lot of people don't know how to make a decision. When it comes to anything you want, the first step is making a decision to get it. Until you make the decision to get it, you won't have it. Until you make the decision to get it, you won't believe you can have it. Until you make the decision to get it, the thing is far away from you and it's not possible for you. You can see other people driving the car all the time. But until you make a decision that that car is for you, you won't have it. Until you make a decision that the lifestyle that you want, the lifestyle of your dreams, the lifestyle that you desire, until you make a decision that that lifestyle is for you, you won't have it. Excuse me. You won't have it. The decision is the first step. Now, I don't want you to confuse me. The difference between hustle culture and operating in this frequency and this mindset with this energy, the difference is hustle culture says you have to force it to happen. Operating the law of assumption, operating the law of vibration, right? Coupled with the laws of manifestation, the laws of frequency, right? Getting yourself into a certain frequency, the frequency in which everything you want operates on, right? The only difference is with hustle culture, you're forcing it to happen. With the law of assumption, you're deciding it has already happened. And I know I don't have time to go too deep into this, but once you decide that it's already happened and you operate like it already happened, when it happens, it's not a surprise. I want you to, let me give you this one last example, and then you will understand what I mean. I'll give you a few examples, and then we're out of here. What does an architect do to build a skyscraper? At some point, that skyscraper didn't exist, right? And this works for anything around you, right? Everything around you started out as a thought. That architect designed a building, bought it to someone who finances the building, or maybe the person who finances the building sought out the architect. Either way, the architect designs the vision. A bunch of people come together and say, yes, this is what we want, right? They make any adjustments they need to make. They plan it. They find the spot where they're going to put it. All the people necessary to build it has to get on one accord with the vision. The paper that represents what physically will go in that space must be designed. That's what the architect did. He designed something called a blueprint. And that blueprint is copied by every worker. And in stages, they build all the components necessary for that skyscraper. And then they go to work building and piecing those that framework together. And after time has passed, did it happen instantly? No. Did time have to pass? Yes. And after time passes, guess what? They get a skyscraper. Every single building of every single skyline, every single building you place your eyes on works exactly the same way, what I just described. But do you know that same process is what you can use to design your life. The same exact process, right? Same exact process. But what happened? How did that skyscraper get built? What was the first step? The first step was deciding to build the skyscraper. That was the first step. The first step of getting anything done is making the decision to do it. And like I said, a lot of people don't know how to make a decision of quality. They don't know how to decide, hey, this is where I'm moving my life, and that's it. There is no alternative. There is no plan B. This is the way I want my life to go. This is the direction I'm moving my life in, and I'm willing to work the time it takes to see this vision come to pass. It's really simple. It's actually very simple. And guess what? The circumstances, the people, the ideas necessary, the organization of the meeting of the minds, everything, once that decision is made, everything conspires to bring it to pass. There will be resistance. The resistance doesn't matter. You move around the resistance like water around a rock. Nothing is going to stop you. Do you not think that when they are building the skyscraper, they don't face certain problems that they have to solve along the way? They have to solve those problems and continue with the vision. It's no different in your life. It's no different in your life. When you make the decision, you got to move. And against all odds, against anything that tries to come in the way, you move around those situations, there's those circumstances like a water around a rock. Once the decision is made, the decision is made. The interesting thing is when the decision gets made, you may not see the end of the road. You may not know how it's going to happen. Let me rephrase. You know what the end of the road is, but you may not know how it's going to happen. The how is none of your business. There's two things you got to do. You got to know what the vision looks like, and then you got to make the decision that you're moving your life in that direction. It's kind of interesting how when someone makes a decision of quality, the people, the circumstances, the events start lining up for exactly what you wanted to happen to take place. And the reason why is because this is an antenna. You got to understand that this is an antenna. The same way frequencies operate, this is how this operates. Have you ever thought about somebody and then within a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes, that person you thought about calls your phone? That is proof that you have this ability and this skill. Every single person that watches this video, no matter where you are, what I'm describing is proof that everything I'm saying is true. If you've ever thought of someone and that person within a few seconds or a few minutes instantly calls your phone, I'm proving that this is an antenna and you have the ability to operate this as a frequency, because that's exactly how it operates. Like I said, I don't have time to get into everything, but I'm just giving you little pieces of information on this subject to prove to you that it's real and that it works. This is how I build my businesses. This is how I operate. This is how I'm able, in the last platform that I was a part of, I personally sponsored 1,000 people around the world on that platform. How did I do that? I made a decision to do it. And the people, the circumstances, the events lined up, and it happened. This is how I'm going to build the businesses that I'm a part of right now. The words that I'm speaking to you right now, you don't realize it, but they operate on a particular frequency, and I'm attracting people to me that operate on this frequency. They will show up. The people who agree with this information, I'm going to end up in business with them, with you. And the people who don't agree with what I'm saying, guess what these words are doing? They're repelling them away from you. They're doing exactly what it's supposed to do. The conversations you have, they operate on certain frequencies and vibrations. They have a particular energy that attracts people to you and repels people away from you. The type of friends you have right now, the thoughts that you have, the conversations that you have, the energy that you put out attracted all of those friends to you right now. Guess what? If you attract higher quality friends with higher quality information and they have the heart to share that information with you and you have the ability to go out and execute on that information, you would make more money, because that's exactly how money comes into your life. And so I'm doing these 90 days of value for a specific purpose, right? I want to attract more people to me that like this type of conversation. Why? Because I know that we can do great business together and make great money together. I already have a plan. I already have the simplest form to go from A to B, right? I have it, and it's beautiful. The plan works. All information is not created equal. All opportunity is not created equal. I find opportunity that I don't have to sell. When I show it to people, it just makes sense. And then we end up working together. If that's you, you're watching this video on Facebook, go ahead, comment in the comment section and get my attention. Tag me. Let's get on a Zoom. Let's get on in a group chat. Let's talk. Let's ideate. Let's share ideas. Let me show you what I got that can actually help both of us. If it makes sense, we'll make a lot of money together. If it doesn't, no sweat off my back. Just tell me no. If you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere else, right, go to that description box. Find out how you can get in touch with me. Let's talk. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. I work with people all across the world. I've helped people retire in less than a year with the information that I had. Let's talk. Get my attention. Shoot me an email, right? Shoot me a message on Instagram. I check my Instagram messages throughout the day. I check my email throughout the day. Let's talk, right? Because I got a very, very powerful plan that is simple to execute, right? And when we do it together, we can leverage, right? Go through these 90 days of value. Find the ones that I've did on the subject of leverage. I love helping people understand how to leverage, right? This right here, this one, the one before this one, and the next 4 are all about collapsing time, right? I'm doing a 6-day series on collapsing time, right? Video 22, video 23, this one. Tomorrow, video 24 is going to be about collapsing time. Video 25 is about collapsing time. Video 26 is about collapsing time. These are principles that when you put them together and you operate them, you can collapse time and get better results. All right. So same time tomorrow. Again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. Same time tomorrow, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be doing another 90-day of value video. All right. So appreciate you for watching. This is what I tell people. I know if I can help you change your perspective, even if it's just a little bit, I can help you change your life. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.